Good morning, viewers and listeners, wherever you may be tuning in to Bougainville Parliament TV. We welcome you to this channel this morning, where we'll be bringing you live updates from the Bougainville House of Representatives, where the Bougainville Constituent Assembly meeting will be starting this morning, being Thursday, the 29th of May, 2025. The Bougainville Constituent Assembly was formed after the current members were sworn in as Constituent Assembly members, and we also have 6 members that were appointed as representatives from the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission. And this assembly will be starting this morning at 10 a.m. Bougainville Standard Time. So right now we have the assembly members coming in. The assembly members being, like I said, the elected members representing the constituencies, also the regional members representing the women in North, Central, and South, and the regional members representing the veterans, as well as the 6 appointed members representing the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission. So very quickly, the sole business of the Constituent Assembly is to discuss the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons, the name given or suggested by citizens throughout Bougainville, or Bougainvillians within Bougainville, across mainland PNG, and also abroad, where views were collected, and after much deliberations within the BCPC, or Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission, this name, Republic of North Solomons, was suggested. And so the BCA's sole responsibility when they have their sittings is to discuss the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons. And very quickly, the functions of the Assembly is to receive the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission's draft of the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons. Again, to receive the draft as presented by the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission. And then they consider, and subject to these rules and to the extent of the consideration, the Assembly goes through the report, and discussions or debates is done on the second, or on the draft, and then they go into a process of approving and then adopting the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons. So this morning, the program for the Assembly this morning would be the prayer to begin the Assembly, and then we will have the announcement by the chairman. In the BCA, or in the Bougainville Constituent Assembly, the Speaker of Parliament automatically is referred to as the chairperson of the Assembly. So the chairperson of the Assembly, Honorable Simon Pentano, makes the announcements, and then we have the business of the day. The business of the day, there is 2 business items will be discussed. 2 business items will be discussed, and that is business item number 3, a motion to amend the Bougainville Constituent Assembly Rules of Procedures. That will be business item number 3, the first business of the day. And business item number 4, presentation of the second draft of the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons. And the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission report, and that general debate commences. I repeat, business item number 4, which is the second business of the day, presentation of the second draft of the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons, presentation of the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission BCPC report, and then the general debate commences. After this, then there'll be the adjournment of the assembly. So if you're just joining us, tuning in within Bougainville, also viewers from across mainland Papua New Guinea and abroad, if you are joining us this morning, we welcome you to the Bougainville Parliament TV, where we will be bringing you the live coverage of the assembly when the quorum is in the chambers this morning. At the moment we have members of the assembly already in the chambers. Some are yet to come in. The chairperson of the assembly, who is Honorable Simon Pentanu, is yet to come in, and then the assembly should begin. Also, members of the other members of the Bougainville Constituent Assembly include the national members of Bougainville in the National Parliament. That is the regional member, Honorable Peter Tsamalili, regional member, Honorable Peter Tsamalili, member for North Bougainville, Honorable Francisca Semoso, and member for South Bougainville and Minister for ICT, Communications and ICT, Honorable Timothy Matthew. So these are also part of the, they are members of the Constituent Assembly, and at the moment, some of the members that were not sworn in are currently being sworn in, and they would also be joining the assembly this morning. Okay. In the absence of the chairperson, who is Simon Pentanu, in the absence of his presence, we have the deputy speaker, the deputy chairperson, Honorable Tris Kaitavara, to step in and chair the meeting or the assembly. So this morning, unfortunately, Chairperson Simon Pentanu will not be present, and in his absence, we will have the deputy chairperson, Tris Kaitavara, would be chairing the BCA this morning. The first, looking at the business of the day, the first item being a motion to amend the Bougainville Constituent Assembly Rules of Procedures. Part of it I mentioned this morning, that would be the functions of the assembly, and very quickly, the functions of the assembly is to 1, receive the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission second draft of the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons. 2, to consider and subject to these rules and extent of the assembly, to accept, to go through the report and deliberate on it, and Another function is to approve and adopt the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons. Okay. And this initially to come into effect on a date to be fixed by decision of the Assembly and to be stated in the Constitution. Such approval to be initially in principle pending the outcome of the post-independence referendum decision-making process on the future political status of Bougainville being conducted under the Bougainville Peace Agreement and Section 342 in Part 14 of the Constitution of the post-referendum decision-making process on the future political status of Bougainville. If the Assembly considers it appropriate, it will adopt the final draft Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons. Another function is to receive, consider, amend, and adopt such organic laws, ordinary laws, and standing orders as may be brought before the Assembly, and finally to do any other thing that may be necessary or desirable for ensuring a peaceful, orderly, and effective preparation for the transition of the autonomous region of Bougainville to independence as the Republic of North Solomons. So very briefly, like I said, the functions of the Assembly is to receive the draft constitution, the second draft constitution of the Republic of North Solomons from the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission. Also, to go through the report and the draft constitution, considering the views that were written in the draft constitution, and after much deliberations and debates, then they either approve and adopt, and when they do, it will be done at a later date to be fixed by the decision of the Assembly. So these are some of the functions of the Assembly, and then we go through quickly the rules of procedure. The rules of procedure. The chairperson shall apply the following rules for conducting the proceedings of the Assembly and follow where appropriate the standing orders of the House that are not affected by these rules. Chairperson shall decide any question on procedure not provided for in these rules or in the standing orders. The chairperson shall decide the days and hours of the sittings of the BCA. The Assembly shall meet on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, and on such other days, and at such time as the Assembly decides from time to time. The routing of a business of the day. The Assembly shall proceed each day with its business in the following routine: prayers to start the meeting, and business of the day as determined by the chairperson. In today's Assembly, like I mentioned, the routine of the day would include the prayer to start the meeting, and then the announcement by the chairperson. In this case, we will be having the deputy chairperson, Honorable Triskai Tavara, who will be chairing the Assembly this morning, and she will make the announcement, and then we will follow with the business of the day. And the business of the day would include business item number 3, motion to amend the Bougainville Constituent Assembly Rules of Procedures, and the second business of the day, business item number 4, presentation of the second draft of the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons, the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission report, and then the general debate will commence. Okay, there are 3 stages of consideration. The draft constitution and other relevant matters shall be considered in the following stages. Stage 1, presentation and general debate. Stage 2, amendments. And Stage 3, question of adoption. Time limits for speeches. Stage 1, general debate on the Constitution on just one occasion unless extended or permitted otherwise is 30 minutes as the required time. Stage 2 of the Constitution, including amendments and other matters relevant thereto, 20 minutes. And Stage 3, debate limited to 10 minutes each member. Extension of time to be determined by leave and by consent of a majority of members present without debate, but must not exceed half of the original period allotted. In terms of the amendment to the draft constitution, a proposed amendment to the draft constitution shall be moved in writing. Adoption of an amendment to the draft constitution shall require support for the amendment by a 2/3 majority vote of the Assembly. With regard to inconsistent amendment, the chairperson has a discretion to allow the moving of a proposed amendment which is consistent with or otherwise affects a previous decision if in his opinion it is fair to do so, and in that case he may allow a consequential amendment of the previous decision without recommitting it. Order of moving amendments. Where there is more than one amendment to a provision of the draft constitution, or when an amendment is itself proposed to be amended, the chairperson will arrange the order in which the amendments will be discussed and voted on in such a manner as will allow debate. Offensive words. No member may use offensive words against other members of this assembly or the judiciary, but the chairperson shall interpret this rule in such a manner as to permit adequate debate of all issues before the assembly. Adjournment. The person to interrupt the business at such time as he determines on each day and propose the question that the assembly do now adjourn. This question cannot be debated, but can be I repeat that this question cannot be debated, but can be negated, and proceedings will continue for up to 1 hour, at which time the chairperson will adjourn the meeting without any question being put. That was a brief of the rules of procedures adopted by the Bougainville Constituent Assembly. And if you've just joined us, we welcome you, viewers from within Bougainville, from across mainland Papua New Guinea and abroad. If you've just joined us, we welcome you to Bougainville Parliament TV. We welcome you to Bougainville Parliament TV, where we will bring you live the Bougainville Constituent Assembly sitting this morning. Okay, like I mentioned earlier, Bougainville Constituent assembly is made up of the current elected members representing the 33 single constituencies, the 3 regional seats representing the women across North, Central, and South, 3 regional seats representing the veterans of North, Central, and South. Also, we have 6 appointed members representing the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission, and we also have the national members of parliament who are members of the Bougainville Constituent Assembly. And the key role of this Constituent Assembly is to discuss or debate or talk or deliberate on the Constitution. Our time is currently at 10:47 Bougainville Standard Time, and here in the chambers we have most of the members of the assembly have all come in. We have the deputy chairperson, Honorable Tris Kaitavara, has or will be coming in shortly, and once she comes in and the once she comes in and all the other members are in the session or in the assembly, then in the chambers, then we will begin the assembly meeting very shortly. Again, when the assembly starts, procedures will include prayer to open this assembly. Then we have the announcement by the chairperson. In this assembly, we will be having the deputy chairperson, Honorable Tris Kaitavara, to chair the assembly. And the business of the day will look at business item number 3, motion to amend the Bougainville Constituent Assembly Rules of Procedures, and business item number 4, presentation of the second draft of the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons and the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission report. And following these 2 presentations, we will have the general debate to commence. So this is the program of the day, today being Thursday, 29th of May, 2025. The assembly meeting is to be held for 2 days, which is Thursday and Friday, and we will bring you more updates. But as we speak, we have the clerk of the assembly has come in to the chambers, and the deputy clerk as well, and we will be joining them shortly with the assembly sitting that will be starting very shortly. So again, we welcome you all, viewers and listeners, wherever you may be tuning in from within Bougainville, across mainland Papua New Guinea, and the globe as well. We now join the members of the assembly in the chambers this morning.
Honorable members, I will now ask the House to come into order. This morning part, I'm going to facilitate the meeting in order to get our Deputy Speaker to come and chair the Constituent Assembly. We need a procedural motion to move forward with it, so I'm going to chair this part of the meeting. Now I invite Member Potewa to lead us in the prayer. The prayer is in the rules of procedures, that we will say.
Thank you. Let's pray before we say the prayers in our procedural book. Lord God in heaven, now is the time that this house is sitting. Is a historical moment, the moment of destiny, in which all heaven are interested, because forever this mark will remain. The mark that we make here today will remain forever with the generations to come and into eternity. And we come before your presence knowing that we cannot see the future. We cannot understand many things, and we depend and entirely look to heaven for wisdom this morning. May the heavens agencies guide, control, so that this document will have impact and effect for the future generations. Thank you for listening, and thank you for acting on our prayer this morning. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. So, honorable members, let's say prayers in the book, Rules of Procedure. If you have that book, you can open it to that page 7, and we read, Almighty God, our Father, the creator of heaven and earth, the lawgiver of the world and our region, the autonomous region of Bougainville. Thank you for our people and our wise leaders in our towns, in our villages, and in this assembly. It is true that we differ in many ways, but we are here as one united assembly. We often fail to do what is right by you. May we listen to you today and try to understand the ideas of other members. We need your love and peace to work for the united and freedom of all our people. May the harmony of our ancestors guide us today. Let this assembly and the constitution that it adopts reflect our good past and answer the needs of all our people and offer a new hope for a united post-conflict Bougainville, committed to ongoing conflict resolution, reconciliation, and peace building, and to the world. We pray through our Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you. Now we will have to go to the motion to deal with the procedural motion, and I invite the Attorney General to move a motion to amend the rules of procedures of the Constituent Assembly.
Mr. Clerk, me move a motion long amend him Bougainville Constituent Assembly rules of procedures. Amendment number 1, that the Bougainville Constituent Assembly amend the rules of procedures by omitting Rule 1A3 and replace with the following rule, subsection 3, the Speaker of the House. Amendment 2, that the Bougainville Constituent Assembly amend the rules of procedures by inserting the following rule after Rule 1. 1A, Chairperson of the Assembly. Sub 1, members of the Assembly are presided over by the Chairperson of the Assembly. 2, the Speaker of the House is the Chairperson of the Assembly. 3, however, If the Speaker is absent or unable to preside, the Deputy Speaker of the House is the Chairperson of the Assembly. Number 4, if the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker are absent or unable to preside, the Assistant Speaker of the House is the Chairperson of the Assembly. 5, a reference in these rules to the Chairperson is a reference to the person for the time being presiding as Chairperson in accordance with this rule. Amendment 3, that the Bougainville Constituent Assembly amend the rules of procedures by omitting Rule 3 and replace with the following rules of procedure. 1, that the Chairperson must apply these rules of procedure for conducting the proceedings of the Assembly, and where appropriate, follow the appropriate standing orders of the House in relation to matters not covered by these rules. And subsection 2, these rules of procedures may be amended on a motion from any member of the Assembly adopted by a majority of the members present and voting. Amendment 4, that the Bougainville Constituent Assembly amend the rules of procedures by inserting after the definition ABG the following definition: Assembly means the Bougainville Constituent Assembly. Mr. Clerk, I commend the motion to the Assembly. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Attorney General. If there is a member who wishes to speak on this motion, you may do so. Usati like talk lo this amendment motion you may start lo floor and you can talk. Member Bloatols.
Clark, thank you. Me second him this motion long look long amendment sections where me prescribe according to Attorney General's prescriptions. Thank you. That's all. Thank you.
Any more? If there are no more speakers to this motion, member for North Nation.
Process, so it's very clear by a consistent one-time rules of House of Representatives. So me support in this motion. Thank you.
Thank you, member. I will then put the question. The question is that the motion moved by the Attorney General relating to the amendment of the Bougainville Constituent Assembly rules of procedures be agreed to. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I think the ayes have it. Honorable members, may I ask you now to stand as the presiding officer enters the chambers, the chair of the Constituent Assembly.
Good morning, members. Welcome to this first Constituent Assembly meeting. Past time through, I like to just make the announcement that our speaker is absent and will not be with us for these 2 consecutive days, as he is on compassionate leave due to the death of his elder brother. And so I thank the Assembly for having moved the motion to, for me to be able to chair this meeting for these 2 days. That is today, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday. And if necessary, for the Assistant Speaker to come in. Clerk, any business for the Constituent Assembly to deal with?
Chair, the Office of the Clerk has received the second draft of the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons and the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission report. The draft Constitution was distributed to all members by the Secretariat of the BCPC. Thank you. Chairperson.
Presentation of the BCPC report and the second draft Constitution. Members of the Constituent Assembly, may I call upon Honorable Ezekiel Masat to present the second draft of the Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons and the BCPC report to the Bougainville Constituent Assembly.
Madam Chairperson, thank you. As the clerk has indicated, the second draft had been distributed to members of the Assembly. As there too, I got distribution belong first part belong BCPC report. As a matter of procedure, Madam Chairperson, me formally present in this second draft, one-time report belong BCPC. Thank you.
According to the rules of the procedure, we will now begin general debate on the second draft Constitution of the Republic of North Solomons and the BCPC report, which each member of the Constituent Assembly is given 30 minutes to speak. I think may put in lawyer. Members who wish to speak, stand, address the chair, and you will be given the opportunity to speak. The opportunity is now open for the general debate. The floor is now open for general debate. Member for Kopi.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You can allow me long participate in this debate. This draft Constitution belong Republic of North Solomons. Me making people blow me, lo copy. Na making all this talk. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity to contribute on such an important agenda. There may be not another one coming forward. So I'm very happy to be given this chance. So Madam Chairperson, plenty time. I think quality and appropriateness and relevance belong Constitution, is how shape him country. Security, safeguarding sustainability belong all sovereign nations. So this is what this purpose is. I would like to think that this is the bare minimum upon which the social, economic, and the geopolitical benchmarks are to be normalized going forward. Chair Lady, I seek your indulgence. Long time, 30 minutes. Me by talk long time lately, so please allow me long talk. Me feeling more by me go through long all this document here. Slowly. It's such an important document. So the importance of the Constitution warrants an exhaustive debate, and I wish to answer this call here, now and today. So, Chair Lady, me believe some safeguard na prevalence belong sovereign nations, and me hints low quality, robustness, credibility, belong government systems, na governance standards that are spelled out in this Constitution. It is necessary to ingrain overarching legal framework that governs, protects, and promotes the citizens' endurances and their resources to utility benchmarks. This plan also na me speak long all this issue by me talk chapter by chapter. Thank you. Past time through me like talk me work him some acknowledgement. So thank you through long the CPC, the Constitution Planning Commission, the working this work. We now this document the stop front yumi debate. Narabla, thank you. We go along all citizens, along all district or constituency where you've been participate long time CPC visiting district below you. This constitution employ you using views, experiences, now contribution below you. So safeguarding this constitution going forward, Chair Lady. Secondly, me like talk thank you, President, na team, la working kutla work. This constitution we stop front you me. Finally, but not the least, long acknowledgement me like talk thank you long all drafting team where you put in this well-structured constitution whereby you may debate him today and tomorrow. By me now making simple talk preamble below this constitution. Preamble serves its function by stating the purposes, the guiding principles, and the source of the Constitution's authority, which is the people. However, in addition to the values and aspirations of the sovereign nation to be, I sense that today is a globalized world, meaning that social, economic, and political events in other parts of the world will impact us, either directly or indirectly. So there are emerging global trends in the modern world that continuously affect sovereign nations and people. So me feeling also some of these things need to be recognized. Chair Lady, the first of these aspects is climate change. Climate change, whether we like it or not, and by global phenomena that affect us now and will continue into the future. Being a small nation, a small island, due to global warming and rising sea levels, I assume it may do no harm to recognize this phenomena. Among the recognizing lines, this could be captured in the preamble so that it offers prima facie constitutional leeway for citizens to take ownership of this issue, concern authorities, and to take appropriate action, that is legislate and regulate. Chair Lady, second aspect, long evolving digital technologies. In recent times, it has been more prevalent in the form of artificial intelligence-powered goods, services, and applications. It's going to turn this world upside down. We better be ready. The evolving digital technologies affect the world in more ways than one, from farming to finance and beyond. These digital technologies present the modern world with a double-edged sword. You got no good on them, you got good side on them, so you must ready. It is simply unavoidable, and nations that ignore the digital revolution will simply be left behind culturally, socially, economically, politically, and more so in multiple ways than business as usual. Am I right, we can go talk yet? Thank you. The third aspect, Chair Lady, the new nation that we anticipate to build will traverse uncharted waters. It will probably be the smallest nation in this world. It will be like a canoe. It will be like a canoe among boats, bigger ships, and ocean liners under challenging waves, storms, turbulences, and hurricanes. I let the leadership to be ready for what lays ahead. We must recognize the challenges of globalization and plan accordingly to secure our sovereignty on all fronts.
In this consideration, this Constitution may do well to recognize international laws, treaties, and agreements for want of jurisprudence, harmony, and alignment as part of the global community. So, Mr. Chair Lady, let me now share a few thoughts on Chapter 1. Founding provisions. Chapter 1, it talked long founding provisions. This one runs well within the founding provisions paradigm, encapsulating the foundational legal and institutional framework of the sovereignty. This is all very well. However, I wish to point out a few issues in sections 1, 3, 4, and 5. So, Chair Lady, in Section 1, in addition to the unique cultural and natural heritage, which carries specific legal meanings, it is important to respect and preserve indigenous languages, as this form the fabric of the sovereignty and indeed our identity. You lose your language, you lose your identity, you come up dream man, you have lost your roots, Chair Lady. Language is our identity. Chair Lady, Section 3, this talks about the area of the North Solomons, which is an archipelagic sovereign nation. I suggest that for purposes of completeness, an archipelagic map be included in Schedule 1. I hope this is not uncommon. Chair Lady, under Section 4, Subsection 2, Guiding Principles, I wish to add Section 4, Subsection 2J, respect for the ecosystem, humans, plants, animals, and the environment, air, water, and land. This point may be moved to some, but the world is increasing suffers from an imbalance, manifesting in multidimensional consequences. I guess the idea is to be aware that there is a prima facie constitutional support for the future. Chair Lady, Section 5, Subsection 3, A to E, discusses economic objectives well enough. However, I would like to add Subsection 3F to include healthy living within and between communities. This is based on an ongoing project supported by the New Zealand government titled Healthy Communities, which has brought many socio-economic benefits in some communities. Chair Lady, in the face of unpredictable and evolving emergence of global diseases, epidemics, and pandemics, the latest being COVID, it would do no harm for the Constitution to recognize the importance of healthy living in communities. One has to be healthy to work, study, and play and earn. Notwithstanding the foregoing, Chapter 1 seems to be in order. Let me next make some comments on Chapter 2. Land resources and environment, if you can allow me, Chair Lady. Land resources and environment may be compartmentalized into specific portfolios. For example, the environment may include natural and man-made elements within a given space. This may include air, water, land, and infrastructure, among others. Chair Lady, these are important portfolios that correlate to social and economic jurisprudence, which may also be seen as sovereign assets. Some resources are obvious, they're tangible, while others are not so obvious, intangible. So I guess the essence of Chapter 2 is to install the constitutional support to legislate and regulate aspects of land, resources, environment, even for monetary purposes to achieve overall betterment, happiness, and well-being of all citizens. Chair Lady, having said the foregoing and without talking too much, I wish to draw your attention to Section 5A, subsection B, A, B, and C, and do wish for an addition of Section 5, subsection D, to include natural resource under the official name radio frequency spectrum. This is one of the intangible and not so obvious natural resources declared as so in 1901 by the International Telecommunication Union, which is the ICT sector-specific body under the United Nations. With the ever-evolving digital products, services, and applications, the demand for more lucrative radio frequency spectrum airwaves is on the rise, and this is where the money is. Chair Lady, I have a slight suspicion that this is mentioned in passing under Section 3, area of North Solomons, subsection 1, the atmosphere above the land and sea. The other word to describe this is ether, E-T-H-E-R. THER, regions of space, the sky, the airwaves, the medium for the propagation of all manner of digital signals. The inclusion of subsection 5, section 5, subsection D, will provide prima facie constitutional support to legislate, regulate the critical, vital, and intangible natural resource, radio frequency spectrum. Let me now make only a few minor observations with regard to Chapter 3. So, lady, if you could allow me, good governance and leadership next. Lady, the quality or otherwise of good governance and leadership will determine the sustainability or otherwise of sovereignty's change and progress. This is about compliance to rules, relationships, and processes by those in leadership positions. The current structure of Chapter 3 covers the rudimentary building blocks of good governance and the leadership. It would seem to me that these are similar good governance and leadership prescriptions available in the Constitution of Papua New Guinea. Lady, I am often astounded to read about the deeply rooted corrupt practices which continue to wreak havoc across the nation with domino effects. So much so that the kina is no longer worth the paper it is printed on. Notwithstanding this, I suggest that section 1.72 be rewritten to state that public officers accused of criminal misconduct should be terminated forthwith. A snake is always a snake, regardless of the number of times it changes and replaces its skin. There is an old saying, once a robber, always a robber. Lady, as long as there is prima facie case on such corrupt public officers, they should be declared guilty and terminated forthwith. Public officers convicted of criminal misconduct have to prove their innocence. In Japan, corrupt public officers, they commit suicide. In China, corrupt public officers are executed. In other parts of the world, corrupt public officers have their vital parts dismembered. In our part of the world, corrupt public officers have a joyride back to the very office they have compromised in the name of innocent until proven guilty. This must change. This needs to change. Human rights is not a one-sided affair. It comes with duties, obligations, and responsibilities. Lady, allow me to talk a little bit about Chapter 4. Chapter 4 states the rights and the freedoms of citizens, and it aligns well with the 5 universal jurisprudence conceptions on the same. I will say this just once again, the rights and freedoms must necessarily come with duties, responsibilities, and obligations. Of course, this may be duly addressed in the other parts of the subordinated policies, legislations, and regulations. I would like to think that the chapter is comprehensive, while it also holistically presents the rights and the freedoms which must be read together with the other chapters for completeness. However, let me just alert this assembly on how the emergence and the evolving AI digital tools are infringing on the rights and freedoms in unprecedented ways at the flick of a finger. For example, the right to dignity, the dignity of persons to be protected and respected has been seriously undermined through the use of AI tools, often in morally malicious ways. Lady, the House of Representatives should be ready and prepared to legislate and regulate the necessary safeguards on this front. Lady, next I wish to briefly comment on chapters 5, 6, 7, and 8, if you could allow me. These 4 chapters necessarily lay out the democratic principles on limiting and separation of powers. On the horizontal, that means the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary, as well as the vertical plane, the national, regional, district, and the constituency plane. Election is at the core of democratic systems of governments, and it is prescribed somehow well. But there is a point that one of the colleague members will raise later on, so I would not like to touch on that. In chapter 5, of course, there is no such thing as a perfect world. Chair Lady, my comment regarding the demarcation of powers concerns the vertical plane, one that relates to the depth of the three arms. Do we maintain these arms only at the national rather than the regional, district, and the constituency? Care needs to be taken so that we don't overgovern a small sovereign nation, as this can be very expensive. The other issue where exactly on the vertical plane should the Council of Chiefs be afforded into the system of government? At the constituency, should we replace the community government with the Council of Chiefs? Chair Lady, these are questions that must be answered considering the expense of installing and operating the systems of government in the sovereign nation. As we speak, some community governments have been complaining about the funding, even claiming that constituency development grant should be really under their control. So we must be clear on this aspect to avoid conflict, friction, and mistrust between parties in the system of government. Chapter 6, 7, and 8 do conform to standard democratic jurisprudence regarding the three arms. I have no qualms about that, Chair Lady. By the way, there is a small typo on Chapter 6, Section 7, 8, which was carried forward from the previous versions. Chair Lady, my only other call is that on accountability and transparency within and between the three arms of the government for want of good governance and leadership. Whilst maintaining the separation and independence of the three arms, I call for greater consultation and dialogue within and between the three arms to serve the common denominator, our common denominator, the people. So this will avoid unnecessary wastage of time, money, blood, sweat, and tears. The current court case between Bougainville leaders is a case in point. It is outright shameful, to say the least. Chair Lady, now allow me to note some observations on Chapter 9, independent public offices and other public offices. Chair Lady, from the outset, I'd like to commend the inclusion of this chapter as it is an essential aspect of democratic principles, good governance, and leadership. These institutions will provide independent, expert-driven advice as and when required to serve public interest. Among other things, these offices will also ensure accountability and oversight, specialized functions, and also checks and balances by being independent from the main branches of the government. In essence, the independent public offices will promote transparency, accountability, and effectiveness in governance without fear or favor. Chair Lady, the independent public offices must be left free from undue political influence so that they perform and provide to expectations. To do so, I call for the appointment of these independent public officers to be done on merit rather than through nepotism and favoritism, including the appointment of political cronies to avoid undue interference. Towards this end, Chair Lady, I note that the Public Curator's Office has not been included in this chapter. If there is no specific reason why this office has been left out, I call for the inclusion for this office so that open properties may be safeguarded and transferred to legally recognized inheritors rather than into the mouths of unscrupulous sharks. Chair Lady, please bear with me. I'm almost finished. I would wish to just briefly look at Chapter 10, 11, 12, and 13. Chapter 10 recognizes public finance principles rather briefly, and I think it misses some key determinants of economic and financial success of the Republic. It seems to me that this chapter needs further work to be made to make it stable so that the Republic's revenue, marked by currency and gold reserves, guarantee confidence among trading partners. This is so necessary in the turbulent world, often driven by convoluted cobweb of supply and demand factors. Chair Lady, all the revenue-raising sectors need to be safeguarded through this constitution so that our exploitation to serve foreign interest is minimized. In particular, the key question is how will the Republic deal with its gold reserves? This is a quick question.
You have 5 minutes.
I'm almost finished, Chair Lady. I've lost now. A key question is how will the Republic deal with its gold reserves? This is a key question that must be answered through a set of constitutional safeguards so that the Republic is not exposed to foreign exploitation. Gold is God's money and must be given the highest order of safeguards. Chair Lady, the other issue which this chapter is silent on is the issue of Republic's currency. I believe that I believe that there should be some guidelines available to frame the Republic's money, currency, that is paper money, so that it is supported strategically through constitutional safeguards and the Republic's gold reserves. Chair Lady, while the Sovereign Wealth Fund is a good idea, this chapter downplays the role of the central bank by giving it minimal treatment. The central bank plays a crucial role in the Republic's monetary policy while also regulating the finance and the banking sector, but must have a direct role on how the Republic's gold reserves and others are to be managed, safeguarded, and protected. Many countries have left the issue of gold reserves to the whims of deceitful foreign aliens, thereby degrading their currency to worthlessness. This must not be allowed to happen in the Republic. Chair Lady, Chapter 11, I wish to suggest the legislation of the national service as an important government service. I repeat, I suggest that in Chapter 11, I wish that the national service as an important government service be included. This will be a compulsory service where young people are inducted for a year or two to be trained to serve the Republic on all aspects of personal growth, the development through practical skills, training supplemented through discipline, punctuality, obedience, work ethics, faithfulness, and endurance, among others. The compulsory national service will produce a committed, disciplined, and loyal workforce to take the Republic forward. Chair Lady, we have a young, misplaced, misguided population that must be trained, nurtured, guided, and mentored to be useful and productive citizens. All over Bougainville, all over the districts, all over the regions, without exception, there is a growing boombox, spark, bruise, and firewater generation. Therefore, we need a paradigm shift. This paradigm shift may only come about through a constitutional intervention. I am therefore suggesting that a compulsory national service be introduced as an important government service. I'm almost finished. Chapter 12, 13, and 14, Chair Lady, I just ran out of time, and so I may not comment. I have other colleagues who will be commenting. I will give this opportunity to my colleague members, ministers, to offer invaluable comments for the betterment of the Republic's Constitution. In conclusion, Chair Lady, may I conclude by saying that the Republic will be only as good as the provisions thereof in this Constitution. So it may be necessary to build in the necessary safeguards to protect, promote, and develop our natural resources to serve the interest of the nation. I wish the leaders worthwhile and successful debate. Thank you for allowing me to speak.
The Honourable Member for Hagogohe.
Chair Lady, I seek leave from this Honourable Constituent Assembly sitting today to allow for a 1-minute silence to the 25 lives that have been lost, and of course our founding leaders who have lost their lives for a good cause. And here we are today. We sit in this house, in this Constituent Assembly, to debate our Bougainville, North Solomons Republic Constitution.
Is leave granted? Those in favor say aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Leave granted.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Let me take this opportunity on behalf of my Hagogohe community government, and my very wonderful people of Hagaway constituency. To fully acknowledge our Minister for Independence Implementation, and AG, Member Patonsu, Honorable Ezekiel Massad, and of course, your very hardworking secretary, your officers for the oversight in ensuring that we have come up with ideas to ensure that the establishment of the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Commission or committee has been established to take on the challenge in ensuring that we have a constitution prepared for the Bougainville Independence Nation to be known as the Republic of North Solomons. Thank you so much, and of course, the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Committee or Commission. I'm not forgetting our very hard-working representation from OZ, Mr. Tony Regan, your colleague, OZ, and others who have contributed to ensure that we've come this far to have a constitution. Chair Lady, today Bougainville creates another history in its political endeavor to ensure that Bougainville realizes and ensures that we are prepared to declare the Republic of North Solomons under this Independence Nation Constitution. In this Constituent Assembly, the world is watching us today. And again, I'd like to say Bougainville has been in the forefront to trial and its jurisdictions and the government as far as the North Solomons provincial government. And having to run a very good provincial government in those days, we are proud and we are known for that. Here we are in this Constituent Assembly. We are here to deliberate on our Independence Nation Constitution for the Republic of North Solomons. It's history in its making. Those that have actually lost their lives, our leaders that have gone, they have lost it for a good cause and to ensure that Bougainville liberates itself from where we were and here we are in today. This is a great opportunity for the people of Bougainville for the establishment of this constitution. It's a golden opportunity for all of us. We've died for it. We went through the constitutional process to ensure that our referendum results have actually reflected that Bougainville wants to declare itself independence through the 97.7% vote on independence. All the activities that is reflected, stipulated in this draft constitution. It promotes democracy. It promotes good governance, accountability, and transparency. And I'm happy to note that. And I'm taking my hat off for the Bougainville Constitutional Planning Committee or Commission that you have come with this constitution that sits on the floor of Parliament today for us to debate on. Today, Lajumi inside La Bougainville, let's stand proud. Because of a constitution, it's already here. And I have to say it straight. Democracy in some parts of the world is dying out because leaders continue to hijack this constitution and to entertain themselves with conflict of interest. We read and see it on paper, TV. We are witnessing this. We don't want this to happen in Bougainville. Let alone the Constitution speaks for itself. We leaders, we need to respect this Constitution. It's our people's Constitution. It's small in size, but every leadership and in the establishment of the Republic of North Solomon's leadership, we will build on this constitution. Considering the situation where we are coming out from, policies will have to be enacted, legislated on the floor of Parliament to build up on this constitution going forward. No decisions have to be made outside of the perimeters of the constitution. We cannot hijack our people rights through this constitution. And that is a challenge to us, not only for us in this honorable house, but for leaders who are going to be coming in, who can serve this house. We are very fortunate as where we are sitting today, you are serving in two honorable houses, the Constituent Assembly and the Bougainville House of Representatives, and you will be remembered that we all have contributed to this constitution. We don't have high team law here. Democracy in this country is dying out. Why? Because leaders continue to hijack that constitution to ensure that we save our own interest when it comes to money, when it comes to decision and contracts for that matter. I'm happy that law on the courts in Bougainville is reflected. That's the third arm of the government that you be established in this land. This is the check and balance law wakapat. So all of the activities type inside the Constitution, we've heard it this morning from our member, and we'll continue on. And we'll bring me go along this time. I am time Hamamas. As an independent nation, we got to be united. One people, one nation, and together we can do it. For Bougainville. Nakatar plaman by Mekim Loyumi. We passed the Bougainville Courts Bill and the Bougainville Community Courts Bill, which allows these institutions, Laharim, Olahevi, Yumi Woklonga. We will also have the district courts, Loyumi by staff. Judges will be involved. Long systems, long legal systems, inside Bougainville. We will have our own ombudsman commission. And we will have our own governor general in this establishment, and who else is going to do it? That's for the Republic of North Solomons. The golden plate and the honors is on us as leaders. We support him too much. It's a draft constitution. Going forward, that's the start of everything for us to roll out independence. Harim. We will need to pass this North Solomon's Republic Independence Constitution. Why do I have to say this? We don't want any more third option in our consultations with the leadership of Papua New Guinea. Cut that crap, now you may stop in one-time constitution. Whichever way the cookie crumbles, the time of ratification, you cannot go wrong. Because this constitution will allow you, to declare ourselves independence, regardless of what transpires on the floor of the National Parliament. This is a constitution we talk long and lotete, and be holy pass. That we will not discuss any more third option the way things are going today. And constitutionally speaking, this constitution is going to allow us to do it. Are you holding me pass on someone? No, so AJ, thank you so much for the foresight. One time all got officers, the Bougainville Constitutional Commission we stand to salute you. Without you, we're not supposed to be having this constitution today. Regardless of the challenges that you've gone through, the financial constraint, whatever, you have done it. Conducting the plebiscite all throughout Bougainville, you've done it. Nationally and internationally, those presentations were done. And here we are, members of this honorable house, the Constitution is right here for us to debate on. So, Chair Lady, I'm so much very happy. Being a very senior political statesman as well since 2005, and up until today, I'm still around today to see this Constitution is being debated on the floor of Parliament, and I'm actually part and parcel of that. Those that came in with me in 2005, they've actually lost their life, they've passed on. I've been sending condolences in this honorable house, but they themselves has actually contributed to lay that foundation. Late Raymond Masono, late Leo Honet, our former Premier, late Dr. Alexis Sarah, our former Premier, and many more. The member from Mahari, late Tabinaman, Honorable Watawi, late Kabui, our President, Joel Banham, they all came into this house for us to pay their last respect. I'm still around today. Patrick Nizera is still around today, and Ezekiel Massad. These are life members of this honorable house. And I'm not going to hide it. The three of us are coming back in this election. We still want to bring this nation into independence. And the corporate memory is around with us. So me like to also. Honorable House, members of the Constituent Assembly, let's stand tall. Be counted in this decision, and it will leave a legacy for the whole lot of us who are sitting. Tell them in your election campaign, I've passed the Constitution, and I know where we are getting to. Now can Salim Makaki come inside? We don't have time to train them. Sorry, me out but that's the fact of the matter. If you are smart enough, this is what you're going to use, and Robert Hamal Sawa is going to say. Am I right? So I think, Madam Lady, thank you so much for the introduction of this Constitution on the floor of Parliament. We all members, we will support our Constitution. We have no choice. And thank you so much, Tony Regan. Pass our heartfelt gratitude to all SAID and to those who are assisting us, New Zealand Aid, whichever way we have contributed, our community governments, our very wonderful people of Bougainville, the ranks and file of Bougainville, whichever profession where we are coming out from, thank you so much for your contribution. This Constitution belongs to all of us. God will continue to bless us all. And thank you so much for the opportunity for being here as well. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Atholl.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Honorable House, aste mi expression tinting blomi, luk blomi, longolo, big pla, talk now is stop before us. Chair Lady, me like repeat him, sana blomi again. Aste me compliment him, all of the sectors, waving up work hard, long bring him this very, very paramount, important document. North Solomon's, Republic of North Solomon's Constitution, where is before us, long final part belong in, long go forward. Me talk finish aste. Me look finish long this paper, document. Me looking also more relevant input all his stuff inside. True, he got some law, but me even realize him, lady, that he got time along the way by you mistreat him as we go along. But as it is, me ask them, me approve him finish. Me endorse him finish. There is no more. There is no more that we can discuss. Because, I mean, we can discuss, but no got something blinding too much by me make him send his slogan. Because this is the input by the people of Bougainville. The team, the Constitutional Planning Commission, or this commission belong independent readiness tinting Blayumi, even go through long all get corner long Bougainville, na I go too long outside. And the tinting stuff long here was their input. And me no win make up tinting, and me tinting where people from Bougainville, our high elite Bougainvillians locals, long all own area, long all living in Satim. So this tinting here, we are here to say, let's put it through, so that you may master him the tinting about the independent for Republic of North Solomon. So, me thank you. Me like talk thank you, Attorney General, na Tim Blayu, na Tony Reagan, na Katie, sit down long side, long good pla, hard work pla, long make him sure that we come to this stage. Long me repeating me all the time. Me must finish that we have it here. But one have to solve me like emphasize him in this floor of Parliament is that this Vagrancy Act, this Vagrancy Act, this freedom of movement, me like him this by my strong, so that we don't follow Papua New Guinea Vagrancy Act, where any man from outside, he come inside, now walk him all style belong, now I give him heavy Bougainville. I'm have to solve me like him by me strong him, so that we don't follow the same trend. This freedom of movement is there. This freedom of speech, whatever, is there. It's good. But how free do we have to let people come inside? Now make him about long ground like me is the concern I have. Time of Bougainville crisis, you may even talk Rausi Minola call him. I mean not good. Rausi Molo Desala. Only spelling more Sam Dasol. R-E-D. You play it, look him. Now S-K-I-N. Rausi Molo Desala. Me like him Desala. You may not can use him too much, but let's say anyone outside who comes in and break this constitution, so put him some part on this must be doubt. Or there must be a control mechanism where these things should not be allowed to happen. I mean, apply to long resources and the land, like me almost long lands minister yesterday, and me out him one part long side long lands, and environmental resources, believe me, the sea, the air, the forest, the land, and all this plateau must be counted for. Even in business dealing, when somebody likes to come in, behind him pass in. But I see that even all the local line blame me too. The domestic dwellers, only go on man. You respect the authority on that part. Meaning, you from Buin, Siwai, Nagovis, you come to Buka, respect the Buka culture here. I'm talking now. Respect them, learn from Buka too. You from Buka, you go to Kieta. You respect him online Kieta. This is what I mean. So that we don't disturb the peace and harmony that our people lives with. Long all location or half long all. Plenty time we see young people. Time only come about in Bukahia, for example. All kinds talking about na got respect lo Mary lo market. My crisis. Sorry, chair lady. Me hate long looking this pala. What are you doing to the women? The all of Marys are giving you kai lo market here. And we feed on them here. Why by you spark now you can make them no bad all? This is the control measures I'm talking about. The respect for women, the respect for others in their own yard must prevail. The Bougainville. But we must start now, tomorrow, so that we don't see these things happen. For the good of Bougainville, for the good of the new Republic of North Solomons. Yeah, and otherwise, Misa Nabi Alam already, Attorney General na Tony, me and those who finish this constitution. There is no two way about it. I'm here to tell you that this is already good enough. Good enough, and we move with it. Any changes subject to improvement. So, one them this one. Me no nap tok plandi. I don't like to touch on plandi or section. They are already good on their own right. So, Misa Nabi Alam talk. What else? Huh? People from Bougainville have spoken. This is it. Let's take it on. Thank you. Chair lady, me approve him this one. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Konong.
Thank you, Chair Lady. Makimal people blame long Kono constituency. Pass them through me like giving looks over long Attorney General, Honourable Ezekiel Masad, Department blong now all of all the Halibi mem, long Kisiwi coming up now. Me like giving looks over too, along all members from Bougainville Constitutional Planning Committee. One time will lead a line blong order, come stop one time long here. If we're walking good, we'll walk through. Now, me was giving looks over too, along all people. Inside Bougainville and outside Bougainville. Usat only been making time long all available. Now all been come, long giving views long all, long members, long BCPC. Chair lady. Me like to him. First, me like reminding you me, also this debate, on this draft Bougainville Constitution, second reading today, is very, very important. This draft constituency, constitution, if passed, and by come up mama law on this country, new nation, you me. Therefore, me urging me all the members on this constituent assembly, me must put in more people, me like go pass. One kind thinking you me got now you like discussing long here before me passing this constitution. You must think more this line or be mandating me come long here. Because me come long here, long karim tinting blong na come. Long here me blong talk out as all. Na look him, suppose me good blah, me pass him. Suppose me no good, me must talk more long him. Me like talking me more same. One and something me pass him long here by come up mama law. Now you must sabe. Then me can turn him back na kai you me too. Suppose me no good blah me pass him. Madam Speaker, sorry, Chair. Me starting this second reading, draft constitution. Let me how much? Now, me by go long all chapter. Now me by walking talk taso long all 1-1. Long all chapter 1, you go in upload 14. Long chapter 1. Founding provision, me have much long is the name Republic of North Solomons.
same time we got this Latin too long, it's la name Republic of Bougainville. Because it's la name Bougainville and me worldwide known. Now me believe also M2 and one black name, but me by look na supporting tasol one in majority or supporting is a long house on is la two name. Chapter number 2, land, resource, na environment. Me ang mas long is la chapter 2, but me like him also in a long time, me have been passing more some new law about lands. Now me believe also it's a new law and must have inside, or it must fit in me go inside, or say master, minister on lands, and me been talk long em. Chapter number 3, good governance and leadership. Me got some talk long isla. This law, me like talk also. It passed and by apply long Yumi Ologata, all of us, the president, vice president, AG, ministers, now Mibla members. So was Mibla approving law because everybody come up Mama law Yumi. Because when some have me look him, and me talk also who certainly find him guilty long, or one in misappropriations or one in something, not providing good leadership, and he can be in imprisonment for 20 years or for life. Now, me consider him the Islamic international, me talk also him. Me believe also him, all man is a working willful manner, na killing all man was a good life, na is a kind sentence. And by turning back to you, also me can think, but otherwise, also member of the copy talk, yeah, crook and all time by him staff or same crook. You know, not saying him. So, another point on this law, let me talk also him. Behind every terms of parliament, the members must be investigated. Me like talk also him. When is planning something you may remember working law here? Pinga must point, you go back long. All people who something mandate him, you may come. All people he must on first line looking good. Now selecting good people are members, now selling people like come no here. Yes, supposing me aswa, and they have the evidence. Of course, we must be investigated. Also, me looking also maybe strong but talk too much, he come up long hap. Suppose we can round him the click or put him on one black way, because we like to go same. Or people, no all meetings, sit down, or you work in Mr. Talk, planning all you not come up, member or leader, no one black time. Now, only easy through them, you can throw more this kind of talk come inside. But me talk, you may bypassing this law and blow you me all at the line. Madam Speaker, as I say, the number 4 chapter, human rights and freedom, me like to also, I support it how it is. So it's number 5, system of government and elections. But me like to click also, that's all. Also master me talk. Suppose one member, current sitting member, me die or me go one in, me losing this position, me believe also must go back on by-election. Me not believe also this is number 2 man and by kissing. I'm not straight too much. Go back on all people, now all people yet by give you this number 1. So me believe on this law, long system of governance, not long all elections. Now me like talk on top long also Madam Chair, me like talk also number 6, legislature, me supporting too. Number 7, the executives, chapter number 7, the executive, ministerial portfolios, me looking more same. Long executive, you must increase in this law, ministerial portfolios. Because me looking more same, you know, good long one minister holding 2 blah, or even 3 blah, or ministries, long yet. Long working work good, you must tell him all this something. Me want to talk to us all the same, don't make him easy. So that all of the line he must involve, don't come up in good black governance, good black government. So me believe also, suppose department must New department must come up and must come up. Lo making work easy. Now we must establish an autonomous Bougainville government. Now you may put him all kind heavy on top of one minister. Some blah, only carry 2 blah, 3 blah. Now you walk long walk. But make him easy. Because I'm new blah, independent nation blow you me. Inside on this land, we got 1 blah, tintin, no put him. Yan long police. Now CS. Miruki Morsem. This land must come up 1 blah department. Where 1 blah civilian secretary, you must look out him. Yes. PNC, now Narbla all commanders or commissioners, all this come up with them, all by staff and secretaries. But no minute, Miss Abosem, you know, how work good. Putting 1 blah civilian secretary, now all by talk one time, now they can walk. Long chapter number 8, court, justice, now rule of law. Madam Chair, I support it how it is. Number 9 to 1 kind, number 10 to 1 kind, Madam Speaker. Chapter number 11, government services, me supporting. Chapter number 12, constitutional law, me supporting. Number 13, emergency powers, me supporting. Number 14, transitional provisions, me supporting. So, don't talk to me, Madam Chair, you can look more same. You got 9 blah or chapters, me supporting fully. You got to legally comment as well, me working on this land. And I hope by you go long year long or appropriate line that they can walk along him, now sense him or turn him neglect or down him or strong him, one in kind think him if I walk long give him long here. Now me like finishing one time, blessing long big blah. Papa God, you can guide him, you me, long walking good blah decision, long this land. Constitution blow you me, him walk long debate him now. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you,
The Honorable Member for the Honorable Member for South Nasioi.
Thank you, Mary Sindan Lo Chair of Constituent Assembly. Me too me like contribute long certain areas that's all me not go through long all get thank you through. Firstly, me like acknowledging past them good plow work. Attorney General want them team blow you. Okay, you took this issue straight. Na hit him nail. Na me like congratulate you. Lo this plow work you plow work him plus a lawyer to all assist him you. Me like talk thank you long all. Na all get the people of Bougainville. Long site long consultation, long input only put him because constitution am all people of Bougainville only talk him you me. We must put him all get a thing long all inside the constitution. Thank you. Me like talk clear, talk past time, lick talk lo me start him one time all the same. People of Bougainville have made a decision. Lo come up in government or call him the Republic of North Solomon. And you only not choose him. It's a democratic government, but only not choose him democratic government where I come underneath the Commonwealth countries or same Queen is the head. So in other words, Republic of North Solomon, you may not have got a representative lo Queen, lo Papua New Guinea or some Governor General. I want to just make it clear. Thank you. Yesterday I made some comments, finished, along all of this blah, but I go through the all specific issues. Okay, yesterday I thought, me sharing again this blah experience, me walk along and ask there, lo site block around, lo provisions stuff inside lo constitution, along site block around. I'm law chapter 2, land resources and environment, because I think this is a very important issue for the future of the generation of people of Bougainville. Chapter 2, me talk about land, resources, and environment. I will go to the specific provision where me talk about them. Land ownership, 10. Me talk, the ownership of the customary land always remain with the clan or individual having customary ownership of the land and cannot be taken away, transferred, or granted to any person except to the Republic of North Solomon under subsection 2. Okay? By me come back to this plan. It comes to that 2, subsection 2, this section 2, where we talk about them. Republic may acquire land from customary owners if the land is required for a public purposes and acquisition is 1, agreed to by the landowners on just term. I will agree with that because there's existing process established law or ground law here in 1 case. So I will agree with that. Number 2, effect compulsory in accordance with law, with the law. And it says here, note, section 47.2 in relation to the House of Representatives, limited power to provide for compulsory expropriation of property. Now, me like make him clear, if we pass this provision, this constitution, it will have an impact. Is the Minister of Lands established here? Thank you, Thoreau, he also raised this. By that inconsistency in law, if we pass this, suppose we pass him this plan now, we'll give him government compulsory acquisition for public purposes. And by that big impact, this, and we talk compulsory acquisition. Now, law, customary law of Bougainville, it says differently. All get a ground block, peles, customary land, you can register the land and you get a title. And you can ask an investor, look, a partner one time to you. That's what it says. Even this public purposes, government like compulsory acquiring ground, if we approve it. Government may got gold ground finish, surplus ground finish. They are alienated land like plantations. Why can't they go on up? Convert him to agricultural lease here, he go along. Ground now, while you can work in towns or build them schools or high school or secondary or university. Convert him all to this plan. So I want that particular provision out completely. Because by me got problem. This compulsory and expropriation law, it exists law, Land Act law, Papua New Guinea. That's why government kisim compulsory acquire all get a ground hanua bada ego napolo get a lotarama now today. Only compulsory na only alienate him. That's why I want this peace alienation no got. So the other provision now me like him by inside of this law is government me can either sublease him or ground from long land owner because it says individually only can register him ground or group. Thank you. That's my one provision. Okay, it come along another made them chair. Low side law, fishing grounds and marine area still on this resource, environment and land. And we talk the House of Representatives must regulate rights of access to fishing ground, reef, and other. I agree with it. But the thing I don't agree with it is, are we going to change the 3 nautical miles? 3 nautical miles. And belong lane owner, you have access to it commercially or domestic consumption. You play like him when you may untap him like. Because on a regular term now, lo central Bougainville, all the fishing boat, they're coming all the way close to Lo Koromira, and they're harvesting all of tuna or fish will have. So we need to look at this. Give him more space for local people, ownership underneath nautical miles where they can fish and market and also commercialize. Okay, that's my contribution to this plan. The other one is, close to by me finish. This implementation team, committee implementing constitutional law. Is this by consistent with the establishment of a legislative council? I don't know. We will have this implementation committee implementing constitutional law, or one time legislative council established, or a legislative council completely roused. I don't know. We have to make a decision on this, or we must give some advice along the lawyers or the draftsmen. The other one is, very importantly, I think it's the first of its kind in Papua New Guinea and Bougainville, the protection for whistleblower. This is very important. We need a protection for whistleblowers, because we had cases here where Auditor Sullivan come, investigate them, sample of work come up along projects, civil works. When you put him on report, the officer was involved, kirap na go, fight him, this auditor. That's why we need this law. And also this particular law is important because of this. And now, mi playa, lo leader, say me, supposed to me steal. And mo whistleblower by put him out na talk clear na will investigate me. Na mi mas kau karabus. That's why this law is very important. I think it's the first of its kind in Papua New Guinea. Thank you, True. The other issue me me like him look longan along section 144. Me talk along constitutional office. Bougainville, lo site lo me personally, honestly, I'm speaking. Governance lo you me now, I'm still weak. Governance, good governance is weak. Me talking you plus threat. It's weak. So the other one, now me like him now display, especially lo tender process here, me like him establishment one plus constitutional office. But you must call him North Solomon's Tender and Procurement Commission. And by deal want them display. So that you me too, all the politicians, you know. That's why it's very important. I want it to be included in this constitution. Okay? Me hamamas, longol narapla olo chapter, lo side lo human rights. Yesterday, me talk clearly. System of government, me agree. It's normal, me standard. Legislative, or some authority, lo three executive of the government, and me agree longan. But one of the thing me like stress him lo here, because you play I come back lo parliament next. Me wa me napsala, me lapun man pins. Okay. There is me no like him. This plus three plus arms here, judiciary by. Sorry, what do you call him? Protection belong lo three plus arms yet. They don't interfere into lo narbla belong at one arms of the government. Okay, that's what me like raise him. Okay, the other one is all rules lo side lo governance can all same long or passing power passing all same corruption and all this. That it's clearly, me talk out straight with the Constitution. But the problem is this. What me talking about? Madam Chair. Problem me got is the Criminal Code Act of Bougainville. You may not got yet. make sure high-profile cases of corruption. This man is an expert. He's a policeman, and he was in charge of high-profile criminal cases, the police, the Highlands. Inokut pala haptu lo ko work longan. He made it. Became him performing work longan to the best of his ability. Okay, so me like raising this issue. The other issue is courts. Courts, you may got two plapinis. We still have not legislated a national court or high court of Bougainville. Okay, currently, some of the issues here I go through now long, suppose you may implement the court system and it Bougainville court, which is a replacement of district court. One jurisdiction long all, local court cases. Only can harm court case of killing. Kill. You can't, because somebody must go to national court. Because Bougainville court, and we replace him, substitute him, district court. Now, village court is substituted by the community government court. So in other words, you make a big walkthrough or implementation or come up in this national court of Bougainville or let's call him higher court. Okay? And this me like raise him you may, so that you may clear. In the past 15 years, you may hear the crisis, Madam Speaker. Plenty time all police arrest him all summary offenses or spark man or fight or go start like caught him all. Now, all people lo Bougainville, especially lo side lo me, lo Arawat town or Splaya. Bali ask him all police. When I'm caught, you play like charging me play longan. When I'm caught system. Bougainville no got court system. So kira pol police to Turango. Only no got good pla lawyer lo halivim all. So they just let them release him all back into the community. Thank you. The other ones are me all right. That's so what I suggest is now is me like him or lawyer you me or implementation by working more underlying laws or something we can call them constitutional laws. Or say we must prioritize him now the laws that should be captured and also by implemented law Bougainville. I think that's very important. Which laws? Because we still haven't got a police law, Police Act of Bougainville. We haven't got a Criminal Code Act of Bougainville. And the list goes on. So that's why me like him, a lawyer or people who will implementing this for constitution law. You may have a schedule, one law and a priority, now legislating, and then it goes on so that when they legislate, we implement, start executing this all the laws and the constitution of Bougainville. One time this Madam Speaker, me napalosem. Okay? Thank you.
It is just past lunch, so I will now interrupt the general debate for the second draft constitution and the BCPC report and suspend the sitting until 2 o'clock this afternoon because there is no limit to the timing for the debate. So when we come back, when we resume after at 2 o'clock, we will continue with the general debate. So I now suspend the sitting.